So DrDisRespect's new game just released in pre-alpha version. It's going to be free to play when it releases, but right now you can play it early for $25 on PC only, which is sad. But I do have to say that the game is very good. It's obviously not polished. Everything that you see obviously is going to be pre-alpha gameplay. It's only in snapshot 5 right now, but the game plays well. The guns play very well, and the overall looter shooter aspect to the game, the extraction based shooter aspect of the game, is very enjoyable. Obviously, there are a lot of things that need to be changed before the game fully releases. There is talks about the game going to be releasing with 2-player aspect, like co-op aspect to the game, as well as 3 and 4-player aspect to the game, which does sound pretty cool. As well as they want to port the game over and release the game on consoles and make it crossplay, which would be a whole world of balancing changes, I find. But overall, I think the game is cool. It has a lot of polishing that still needs to be done, a lot of aspects of the map that need to be fleshed out in terms of design detail, but it's pretty much impossible to talk about that and harp on their prettiness of the map because it is still very early. The one thing I do want to say is that some parts of the map are really dark. I don't know how you can actually change your skin in the game, but there are people who are wearing all blacked out armor and the character models, so it is very hard to see them in these dark aspects of the map. The guns play really well. They have, I believe, 5 different categories of weapon. You have your assault rifle, as well as DMR, your sniper rifle, your pistols, submachine guns, shotguns, and each of these different types of weapons has its own weapon category, or ammo category, sorry. All these weapons are in their own category, and they're color coded so that if you find a piece of ammo in a loot box, you'll be able to know which weapon it goes for because it is the same color. In terms of how the guns perform in this game, they're very well. You have the leaning aspect, just like from games that you've known, like Rainbow Six Siege. I think this works really well in this type of game because it's not the fastest paced shooter on the market. It's not going to be as fast as your Apex Legends, your Titanfall 2, or even your Call of Duty. We're talking about Warzone 1 and slide canceling. And on the topic of slide canceling, there is slide canceling in this game. It's pretty cool. They also have sliding momentum. So if you're sliding down a vertical, let's say sliding down a set of stairs or any sort of slope in the map, you'll be able to carry that slide out until the very bottom of that downward slope, which I think is pretty cool. It helps you get from point A to point B, or even disengage from a gunfight, back out and heal. We'll talk about healing a little bit later. They also have bunny hopping, and no, this is not slide hopping, but they have bunny hopping in gunfights. So if you jump in one direction and then jump again once you land, you will have that bunny hop movement tech in the game, which will help you if you are pinned down in a corner. You'll be able to jump out from that corner and trick your opponents a little bit there, which I think is really good. The overall gunplay movement, the movement tech that you can use in a gunfight is really good. I think obviously as the game moves out of alpha into beta and then to its full release, I think the movement will become a lot less clunky, because right now it is a little bit clunky, especially if you are crouch aiming over a corner. On the aspect of heals, there really isn't any heals in the map. It's very hard to find bandages. I think the only heal in the game right now is bandages, and it doesn't even heal you to full. I mean, a bandage shouldn't heal you to full, but it heals you to about, I think, 25%, maybe even 15. So if you're at like 20 health out of 100, you're gonna need to pop at least like 3 or 4 bandages to get back up to full, and it is really hard to find 3 or 4 bandages scattered around the map. But the extraction-based elements of this game are really cool. I mean, it tells you where to extract, but I believe the only ways to extract are to extract from the zip lines located on the outskirts of the map, wait for the final elevator at the very top of the tower, or kill everybody else in the map, and then the game will automatically end. And I also believe you get a special stash loot box at the end of the game, which is pretty cool. I think the audio is really good in this game. If you know DrDisRespect, the one thing that he really gripes on games for nowadays is their audio. So of course his game is going to have some pretty phenomenal audio. You can hear people from miles away. And talking about audio, they also have built-in proximity chat. I believe you can turn it off, but right off the rip you already have proximity chat turned on, which is a good thing. It's pretty funny to hear other people and then hear what they say. You can even hear them for like a couple seconds after they die. I believe, I think it's like 10 to 15, maybe even 30 seconds after you kill someone, so you can have a little bit of banter with them. I think that aspect is really good. If you end up losing losing all of your items and you have to start over from scratch, you are able to pick from a variety of pistols before you start the game, as well as a full pistol ammo count, which is pretty good. You don't get obviously any armor or backpack, but you'll be able to start the round with a fully automatic pistol, which is really nice. And I've got to say, the overall game is pretty challenging. It's not obviously something like Escape from Tarkov, but it is a lot more challenging than DMZ from Call of Duty. Of course, it makes DMZ feel like a walk in the park. There's obviously no AI across the map, which is incredible. I love that about this. But just because of how loud the footstep audio is, and because the map is mostly vertical, it's mostly a verticality type shooter, it's a lot more challenging because you can run into rats just sitting in corners waiting for you to come around. But as well as you have a lot of people anticipating your movement, which means you're going to want to anticipate where people are going to be coming from depending on that footstep audio. Headshots are obviously greatly effective in this game compared to body shots. If someone has a vest on and no helmet, headshots are the way to go. Someone has a helmet on but no vest, obviously body shots are the way to go. But all in all, I really do think that the gunplay is really well in this game. The guns don't really have that much recoil. If you spam fire the DMR, the gun is going to kick up immensely. It's like the FG42 from World at War. It's pretty insane. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where this game goes in the future and seeing how they can flesh it out to be an incredible shooter. I already heard DrDisRespect saying himself that he wants to try and find an aspect of this game where you can even pick up someone's loot bag and maybe move it to a safer location around the map and then loot it from there, because I've already found that when I was playing, I'd kill somebody, go to loot their body, and then you just basically stand still while you move. Even if they made something similar to Apex where you can move side to side while you're looting someone's box, it would be pretty good, I find. But like I said, the game is in pre-alpha. You know, it's not even full beta form yet. It's, I think, just a little over a year now that the game has been developed, and it still has a long way to go. But from what we're delivered upon right now, it's a pretty solid game. And the final point I want to mention is the NFT aspect. I actually didn't really know this was a thing until after I've gotten the game. I don't really care for that too much. Like, obviously there's going to be people out there who sweat the game to try and, you know, make money off of playing a game. I think that's a little bit cheesy. I was reading a couple tweets and the doc said that if you had an item in the game worth 100k, I don't think there will be an item in the game worth 100k, but if you had an item worth 100k and you had to extract it, it would obviously make the game a lot more sweaty and you'd have to play a lot more safe. I don't really care about that aspect in terms of the NFTs. I really just like the gunplay, and I wanted to try a new shooter out for sure. We'll have to wait and see how that's played out though, I guess, because yes, there could be a lot of cheaters out there and you could earn money to cheat now, because if you have wall hacks on and someone has $100,000 item in the game, they could just see you through walls and, you know, that's that. You basically just lost 100k, I guess, but we'll have to wait and see how that's played out. Obviously, other games have had NFTs in their game. Like a good example here is CSGO. I think a CSGO skin just recently sold for well over 100 grand, which is pretty insane to me how people could even spend that much on in-game items. I personally won't be playing the game for the NFT aspect, and I really just want to play it to get good and get a lot of items in my stash and just rob a lot of other people's items from their stashes when you get a kill in that game. It's pretty satisfying. It's a really addicting game in that sense because there really aren't that many great extraction-based shooters out right now, and I say that, but I'm obviously gonna have a couple people out there watching this video possibly that will say, like, Escape from Tarkov is incredible. The first extraction-based shooter that I've ever played was The Division Dark Zone, so it's really not too comparable, but I do think that this game has a lot of potential, and I think that if they flesh it out and really go off of the community feedback, which they are doing at this moment, I believe they have a Discord where you can submit feedback to them, and even the doc reads a lot of his comments and he has direct communication with the devs to change the game. I think the game's gonna be very good. I think because we have someone like the doc who has a big community and who wants to see this game succeed more than anybody, I think we will have great community feedback and great changes on the way, but we will have to wait and see. Hopefully the full release is in less than a year, and hopefully they really start now pumping out the new snapshots for the game so we can see this game really develop into something incredible. Let me know how you guys think about Deadrops down below. Let me know if you're playing it. Let me know if you're enjoying it. Let me know if you have a fat stash in the game, because I really only have a DMR, a plate of armor, and a helmet. You know, I don't have that much right now, but I really want to start getting some more gear and really start enjoying the game a lot more. Thank you guys and have a great day.